Hey team, it's Daniel again with Brazos Valley Boars and Varmits. So happy to actually be able to finally get some wonderful movement on this. The drone proposal that we talked about in my earlier video about how using a drone at night for the purposes of hunting hogs, that proposal has now been heard by the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department Commission. They voted on it and it passed.
I'll accept a motion in a second from commissioners for approval.
Galo, so move.
Galo.
Rolling second.
Rolling second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Stormy.
So yeah, awesome, great. Now, good, thank you. We can actually use the tools that a lot of people had been using for a little bit already, but we can use those perfectly legal to locate and therefore take hogs at night with the assistance of a drone. Obviously, this doesn't mean that we can actually use a gun attached to a drone. That's still against the federal laws about drone use. But anyways, that's not what we're trying to do. We're just trying to use the tools that are available to us to help out with our major hog problem down here in Texas. So it passed, right? Great. All right, so can I start flying right now? No, you can't. There's a process to it. And so the question is, well, when can I actually start flying this? When does this proposal go into effect? Well, now if you remember, all of this stuff is regulated by the Texas Admin Code, and the Texas Admin Code is carried out by the Secretary of State. So I reached out to the contact for the Secretary of State under the Texas Admin Code, and here's our email exchange. I said, hello, my name is Daniel Polonsky. I have a question about a process, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to find out what the process is for the rule change to take effect and the timeline associated with that process. Thank you in advance. Very quickly, a woman named Jill Ledbetter got back with me and she said, good morning. The process for adopting a new rule or amending an existing rule starts with the action from the commission at their meeting. Once they have decided on an action, the commission must file a notice of proposed rulemaking with our office. That notice indicates what changes are being proposed and also has information about how the public may comment on the proposed changes. No less than 30 days after the publication date of the proposed rulemaking, the commission may file a notice of adopted rulemaking for publication. So actually all those other steps until this very last one have already been done. And so the notice of adopted rulemaking for publication is where the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department Commission is then going to tell the Texas Registrar, aka the Secretary of State, and the Texas Administrative Code, about the actual rule change, not just the proposal, but that they have passed this change. And here's exactly what the change is going to be, which these other parts they've already done. That notice indicates if the rulemaking is being adopted with or without changes to the proposed rulemaking, and also includes the commission's response to comments received from the public in regards to the proposed rulemaking. Once the adopted rulemaking is filed with our office, the changes go into effect 20 days later unless a different date is specified. The agency may specify the changes go into effect on September 1st to coincide with a new fiscal year, for instance. And then she goes on to explain how to get notified of when the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department submits that rule change. I told her, yes, I'd love to be added to that notification list, and I think the commission... I told her, yes, I would love to be added to that notification list. And to me, it sounds like the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department files the changes and then it goes into effect 20 days later. So I just wanted to verify that that is correct. And she said, yes, that is the typical process unless they need the rule effective at a later date for some reason. I'll add you to the notification service today. So really, it sounds like once the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department Commission submits this rule change as already being voted on, has already been passed, it's going to be 20 days later. Now, my question is, when are they going to submit it? I don't know. I haven't gotten that notification yet. But once they do submit it, it's just 20 days later. Nowhere in any of the meetings or any of the proposal did it say that they were going to wait for the September 1st or any other arbitrary deadline. It's basically, let's work the process and let's do this. And that sounds exactly like what Texas has done. So guys, this is a big win for the purposes of hog hunting and hog eradication here in Texas, because these drones are getting better and better, and the technology implemented in them, the thermal cameras, and being able to see very well from the controllers that come with them, is getting better and better and cheaper and cheaper. And all that this is going to do is help out landowners more, help out our conservation effort, which is actually reduction of numbers, and we're going to get to have fun in a whole new way. It's going to be so much more exciting to actually go out there and be more efficient with our time, rather than just driving around the circuit. We'll just be able to fly up the drone and say, yep, they're all in that north pasture, or no, they're off by that creek on the west side. It's going to be so much nicer to be able to do this, and I'm super thankful that Texas is finally getting to do this. And I'm going to be keeping up with when this actually goes effective, so that way y'all know when you can be doing this perfectly legal. You still have to go through all of the other rigmarole around it, the getting your aerial wildlife management permit, doing the law, doing the landowner agreements, all doing the quarterly reports, all of those other things. You still got to do all that, but now it's legal to do it at night. Yeah. So guys, I hope that y'all enjoyed this. I hope that it was helpful, and like usual, it's always hog season. Bye.